we have a great crowd on hand for this Sunday afternoon. A critical matchup in the Eastern Division.
Well, especially when you look at the standings, John, because right now the Dallas Sidekicks lead over the Pittsburgh Spirit by 1 game. A win for Dallas today, and it's 2 games, whereas Pittsburgh, by beating Dallas today, can tie them, and there's not that many games left.
You're right. Let's talk about some of the individuals. First, Louis Nanchoff, a very familiar face for Spirit fans. He's back again in a different uniform.
Well, he last was featured in a Cleveland Force uniform, and he always played well against the Pittsburgh Spirit. He has 30 goals this year for the Dallas Sidekicks. More importantly, 10 power play goals. So if Dallas gets on the power play, Louis Nanchoff will bear some watching.
And when the season's over, Louis' numbers are going to be better this year than they were last year. Marcio Leite is already ahead of last year's pace, and he's on a little bit of a roll.
He certainly is. He has scored 7 goals in his last 6 games, and Marcio has had the habit all season long of coming up with that big goal or the game-winning assist all season. He has managed to top his previous highs of last year, and he's still got a long way to go.
This is the 5th meeting of the year between these two teams. If you were to guess a score, how about 5-4? Because 3 of the first 4 have been decided by that number. 2 and 2, they're even, and 2 of the first 4 have gone to overtime, so we can probably look for some excitement this afternoon. A key Eastern Division matchup in the MISL. It's the Pittsburgh Spirit and the Dallas Sidekicks coming up on Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. Has done the same for Pittsburgh. He's 15 and 15 with the goals against of 4.01. We are set to kick off this afternoon's game. 4 15-minute quarters coming up on Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. Bill Maxwell is the senior official, assisted by Dave Missel, and Sig Brock working in the box area this afternoon. And to bring you through the first 15 minutes, here's JP.
Thank you, John. It is Dallas, by virtue of being the road team, taking the opening kick. Right back to Billy Phillips. Sobieski played in goal yesterday in the win over Chicago. A little bit tired, and also something we talked about before the game even got started. Sobieski has never won in a Cleveland or Dallas uniform in this building, as Helmut Dudek will bring it upfield for the Pittsburgh Spirit.
I asked him about that before the game. I said, have you ever won in this building as a visitor? And he said no. But he said, it's not a problem. I'm not playing today, so we're going to win.
We'll see. As Billy Caskey, a very aggressive player, is dumped by Helmut Dudek. A holding foul on Helmut Dudek. Remember, if you're a new watcher on Spirit Soccer or the Major Indoor Soccer League, once you get to 6 fouls in a quarter, your team must sit out a player for a minor penalty. So we'll watch that for you as Victor Moreland, the sidekick captain, upfield, knocked away by Chow for Godfrey Ingram.
Also keep in mind the field is set up much like a hockey rink with the lines, the 2 red lines and the center line, but there's very little offside. The only offside is when you pass it over all 3 lines in the air. That's the only offside violation that you can have. And you'll check out some of the penalties that are called and fouls. There's a big difference, of course. 6 fouls, as JP said. You do serve a 2-minute penalty, but you could also get a penalty on the same play. So we'll keep you posted on that as we go along. And it's critical in the 1 loss column, JP.
Absolutely. Helmut Dudek back for David Bursic. Both teams starting out a little bit cautious, a little respect for one another, and knowing the importance of this game. Helmut Dudek. Now the bearded Helmut Dudek on the left side. Z Kapka. Quick shot and a score. Z Kapka from a difficult angle, and Billy Phillips not equal to the first shot against him. 1-0 Pittsburgh as Kapka will score from the boards.
A rifle of a left-footed shot. As he takes it down, you can see the defense does not get there quick enough. I don't think Phillips really saw the ball all the way. Kevin Smith was the defender who could not get back. But before Phillips knew it, it was behind him in the net. It comes at 1:26. Kapka gets the goal. That's number 7 for Z Kapka. We'll set up the assist, I believe, to Helmut Dudek, right, JP? That's 19 for him, and you ask for a good start, you got it.
That's right. Dudek leads the club in assists. He'll get one there. And it is Z Kapka who has already scored more points than he did last year, getting the first goal. And Pittsburgh takes the 1-0 lead early. 13:16 to go. First quarter, Doc Lawson heading it down. Now it is Terlecki. 1 goal at least in 10 of his last 11 games, including 6 straight, as Stan tries to work a little magic. He first started his stretch playing against the Dallas Sidekicks team, and he scored the game-winning goal. Here, Erhard Kapp going long for Terlecki. Stan wanting to flip it back. Kapp taken down. Loose ball taken out by the Sidekicks. Good to see Erhard Kapp and John O'Hara back in the Spirit lineup. Both have been out for the last couple of games for Erhard. Johnny O'Hara missing 5 with ankle problems for both.
Well, keep in mind, a week ago, Johnny O'Hara was on crutches, so he has made a quick recovery.
Good recovery. Ball is played back for David Bursic. Sidekicks going without Tattoo, but they still have a lot of offensive firepower, like Louis Nanchoff, Mark Carpin, and Oscar Fabiani, who was just rounding himself into shape. He had scored a couple years back, 80-81, actually, 31 goals in just 16 games in the North American Soccer League. So if he's fit, he can help this team. He scored his first goal in the MISL yesterday and had 2 assists in the win over Chicago. Val Tuksha with a 1-0 Spirit lead. Tuksha still with it. In the corner, broken up as he's double teamed, and it's taken by Louis Nanchoff. 30 goals this season for Louis, and 10 of them on the power play. He's been a big factor in Dallas' rise from a last place team a year ago to their record currently of 19-18. Last year they won only 12 all year.
And all of those came in the middle part of the season. They were terrible at the beginning and the end last year.
Couldn't win either way. Stan Terlecki draws a foul on Dallas's Mike Juremovich. That's Dallas's first. Pittsburgh already has one. Terlecki on a set piece. See what he does with it. Right through, and it was just off the foot of Sibby's.
A beautiful pass.
Knocked now into the box and then sent back out by Dallas. Billy Caskey.
Those are the kind of plays that will drive a coach crazy too, JP, because there's no reason to allow the ball to go between your defender and the goalkeeper in the box.
The hardest part right there is really making that pass. Right. Stan put it through everybody. On the left, it's David Stride for the Dallas Sidekicks. Gives it to Juremovich in a few strides. Knocks it hard for a post score, and it is Fabiani who will tie it on the deflection. So it's 1-1. And Oscar Fabiani comes in, and actually what happens here is that Juremovich has a lot of room to come in.
Fabiani had circled around, watches it's brought in by Juremovich in front, and here comes Fabiani. See him coming? He just kept right on coming, and David Bursic had no chance.
Time of the goal, 3 minutes, 37 seconds. First quarter, as we look again.
Scored by number 15, Oscar Fabiani.
Fabiani came in and he was basically unmolested. There were players trailing him, but he had them beat. And all he's going to do at that point is just touch it, and it's going to go in. Unless your goalkeeper can either get lucky or make the spectacular save. And that time, Bursic really had no chance.
Well, the one thing, of course, is because they changed the direction of the ball so dramatically. That's
right.
what gives your goalkeeper no chance at all.
David Bursic, who in my book has been the Spirit MVP this year, gives it to John O'Hara, back wearing the familiar captain's armband. To Klincharski, now to David McKenzie. Mac, the only original member of the Spirit, now playing in game number 266. Leite, who's been hot. We mentioned him in our pregame conversation. Upfield now it comes to Klincharski, knocked back to McKenzie. Dallas putting on a little more pressure now as Dudek comes on. Helmet gives it to McKenzie.
It is Pedro de Brito right in the middle of that Dallas defensive scheme who's applying that pressure.
He's having a fine year as well. Leite getting around his man Moreland. Plays it for Green. One knock of the ball, and Billy Phillips comes up with it. That was off net anyway, and no real danger to him. Victor Moreland, a steady defender, that time was beaten by Marcio Leite.
And it was Oscar Fabiani who turned that ball around and brought it back to Billy Phillips that time too.
On the right, Wes McLeod, 20 points in his last 15 games. He's played back the other way to David Bursic. We mentioned the Sidekicks playing without Tattoo, so we won't see the famed matchup we were looking for, Topolsky against Tattoo. Tattoo expected to miss a few more days, has a deep bruise on the knee. He was kicked the other night against Minnesota. He did not play in yesterday's game, but Dallas won without him.
Both teams averaging a little over 4 goals a game, JP, but Pittsburgh doing it on quite a fewer shots. In other words, 29 shots a game for Dallas, only 26 on the average for Pittsburgh. Of course, with Tattoo, he puts the ball on the net a lot.
Long one the other way. Billy Phillips is there. We were talking before, Tattoo has really doubled plus the number of shots of the highest Pittsburgh Spirit forward in terms of shots, and that would be Godfrey Ingram. Tattoo with 259 shots. Ingram leads the Spirit with 117.
It's the old adage, you can't score if you don't shoot, right?
Yes, absolutely. On the right side, players battle on the boards. Caskey will win it. Almost knocked by Topolsky and getting by Nanchoff. Trying to cut it to the inside. Caskey was open, but I'll tell you, Louis Nanchoff had a great chance to shoot himself. Lawson looking for Nanchoff, but it's wide. Picked up by McLeod. He cuts inside. Good move. Shooting it. It was partially blocked. It goes out of play. Last touch by Ingram. We're coming right back. It is a 1-1 tie. The Pittsburgh Spirit and the Dallas Sidekicks. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
Okay.
And Jason Rector, please come to the lower press box. Chip Muir and Jason Rector to the lower press box, section B8.
Back at the Civic Arena, the Pittsburgh Spirit, having given up 1 goal, you'll see that Helmut Dudek will let Louis Nanchoff get away, and Louis, instead of shooting, decides to pass it, and that enabled Dudek to come out and make the sliding tackle and break up that play. But here's another opportunity for the Sidekicks.
And on the set piece, it's going for Nanchoff, deflected his stride. The shot is blocked by Kapke. He may have saved a goal there with Bursic down. Now it is Ingram. Good back heel. Child leading it right side for Z Kapke. He has the lone Spirit goal in this 1-1 tie. Fabiani for Dallas. Ingram, couple of cuts, loses it. Dudek coming in a few strides, cranks it around the boards. Deflected over to Wes McLeod, and now Dallas tries to settle it down a little bit.
Dudek that time trying to use the boards to set up a rebound pass in front. Not able to do it. There really wasn't anybody in the zone anyway.
I saw what he was trying to do too, and it's not a bad thought, because Billy Phillips not nearly as much experience as Sobieski, and maybe you can rattle him by going off of those boards. If anything, though, they've got to test him a little bit. This is Fabiani giving it up, leaving it for Kevin Smith. Tucks it inside for Moreland. Ingram rejects it. Fabiani keeping it alive. Look at the footwork. Back heels for Smith. Not a good one, though, as it's broken up by Erhard Kappa. Taken back by Smith to Victor Moreland. He'll hold it. Leaving it off for Kevin Smith in a 1-1 tie. 7:43 to go, first quarter. In the corner, loose ball, knocked out. Sidekicks keep it alive. Kevin Smith.
Almost like a power play.
They're doing all right with that possession, but now Child will come back for the Pittsburgh Spirit. Child looking right to Polsky and Moreland. Clyde, it's played back to Phillips. You know, neither team has won a road game against each other. Pittsburgh with an unblemished record here, 4-0, and in Dallas they have lost all 3 times. And you mentioned earlier a couple of games went in overtime. 3 of them decided by 1 goal, and the 5-4 score very popular.
And one of them was a double overtime game, so we've had a little bit of everything against the Sidekicks this year.
Uremovich clears it back. They're not the easy team of a year ago, and if anything, they appear to be the most improved team in the league, and most people will say, hey, they have the farthest to go, and that is true, but they've really come a long way. On the left,
Gordon Jago is their coach, and we'll be visiting with him at halftime, so stick around for that. Very well spoken.
He's going to explain it all right. We think. Stan Terlecki going long. Off those boards, he wants McKenzie. He'll get it off Moreland. Moreland misplayed it off the boards. Fabiani in there to help out. McKenzie knocking it. Kasky wanting to turn. Sibby's in there, but it's taken by Oscar Fabiani.
Keep in mind, too, over half the Dallas team is new. 12 new players on this team. Many of them that had previous MISL experience. And that is, Coach Jago will explain at halftime, is probably the key difference. I remember last year people were joking and saying you don't want to be the first team to lose to Dallas. Nobody's joking about them this year.
No. They're taken serious. Kasky to stride off the boards. Look out. Fabiani was wide open. Here's a quick shot off the boards, and look out again. Fabiani unmarked in the box, and they're going to have to watch out for him. John O'Hara in the corner with Fabiani and Kasky. Pittsburgh got that first goal, but since then Dallas has looked stronger in terms of putting on some pressure. Now DeBrito knocks it into the crowd, and it will be Pittsburgh's ball. When we come back, it's Pittsburgh 1 and Dallas 1, and you're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. It's pretty successful.
You mentioned Dallas's control. It did appear at times that they were almost in a power play. They were controlling the ball at will. Spirit unable to clear it out of their own zone.
Dallas with a lot to prove. You know, they're playing without Tattoo, and some people will still say that they're a one-man team. That's not true, but to themselves they want to prove something, I'm sure, and they did that in part yesterday by beating Chicago. They took a 4-0 lead before the Sting rallied to come back.
Well, we mentioned their road record at 8-10. Anytime you can play close to 500 on the road, you're going to be up there in the standings.
Here's Stan Terlecki. Dallas with one of the better road records in the league at 8-10. Terlecki giving it. Dudek right-footed shot wide, and Phillips misplayed that one.
He did. It got behind him. Unfortunately for the Spirit, he did recover enough to cut off the rebound.
Louis Nanchoff tied up by Adam Topolsky. Louis trying to slip by. A lot of holding on the part of both players. Now look at that bounce off the boards, and the Spirit are lucky that it bounced closer to Bursic because Nanchoff had broken free.
Does it seem to you that we've seen more men open in the attack zone than normal for a first quarter of a game?
It seems it. It started off pretty cautious, too, on the part of both, but the marking has not been all that tight. The closer you get to goal, it seems. Lawson will give it to Kevin Smith. Bring it up the field. Kevin slowing it down. Gives it to Uremovich. Pittsburgh in game 5 of a 5-game homestand. They've won 3, lost 1. Good cut. Uremovich holding, cutting back. One cut too many. He's broken up. Charlie Green and Terlecki could have a 2-on-1 with the speed that they have. Charlie knocks it ahead for Stan outside of the box. To Green, score! 2-1 Pittsburgh. Green from Terlecki.
Beautiful give and go. You could see it develop because they had so much open field. See Charlie take a quick look. Now he's going to hold the ball until Stan clears. He draws the defense to him. Stan does the same thing by drawing Phillips out, and then it's no contest.
Charlie Green will get his 4th goal of the season, but the speed of those two players is what actually gives them their break. There's another look, and Charlie Green, a perfect pass, and all he's going to do is touch it for his 4th goal of the year. The assist will go to Stan Terlecki, who has now scored at least a point in 11 of his last 12. And there's Charlie Green, a little bit winded there. One of the faster players in the Pittsburgh Spirit.
And it's good to see him get a chance to use that speed. He spent a lot of this season up here with us in the press box.
That's right, 10:42, the time of the goal. People that are spending some time in the press box today: Peter Mavlik, Kevin Marr, Charlie Falzone, and Freddie Gergiev. Charlie Falzone, one of 4 players to have played in every Spirit game this year. Now only 3, Mackenzie, Child, and Ingram. Spirit lead again, 2-1. Ball played back the other way. The first time these two clubs met here, Pittsburgh led by 1 the whole way, and Dallas kept coming back 4 different times. They tied the score. Kasky, right side, Louis Natchoff.
That was the first of 3 consecutive 5-4 games. The next 2 5-4 games, first in Dallas was in overtime. Then the second one in Dallas was a double overtime 5-4. And then finally the Pittsburgh Spirit winning 4-1 here in the Civic Arena.
We've got another foul in Pittsburgh. That's 2 straight. It's 2-1 Pittsburgh over Dallas, and you're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
That's a MetLife table. Here, game 1 with a portable TV.
He's huffing and puffing a little. That's because it's pretty much been end-to-end here in the first 15 minutes.
Ball is played back to David Bursic as Charlie Green gets his 4th goal of the year from Stan Terlecki. That is the go-ahead goal. Kapka for Leite. Let's see if Pittsburgh can put some more pressure on. Kapka really needed a through ball that time, but it was broken up by Dallas. He would have been off to the races. McKenzie knocking it aside. Godfrey Ingram with it. Leite trying to break. Godfrey wanted his own ball off the boards. Would have been a good play, but he's broken up. And now it is cleared back by Tuksha to David Bursic.
Godfrey Ingram, another member of the Spirit to improve on his season totals from last year.
Lead ball, Cap. Godfrey, save a beauty. Billy Phillips really tested on that one, and the Spirit waste no time as Ingram's shot was right on.
Maybe Billy Phillips is starting to adjust a little bit to his role. You'll see that he makes a great save. Ingram has plenty of room. The ball is off the carpet just a little bit, and that might have caused him not to be able to steer it exactly where he wanted to.
Godfrey will be putting it in play from the corner with a set piece. Cap is on, Leite, O'Hara, and Topolsky. So Erhard Cap moving up and playing as a midfielder.
You can see Godfrey trying to get Marcio inside.
Wants O'Hara, it's wide. David Stride after it. Blocked twice. Topolsky stealing, giving it. Cap has a good left-footed shot, but you couldn't tell by that one. That one went way upstairs.
He almost put that ball in orbit.
Well, he does have a good left foot, but that one was obviously not on target, and that's all she wrote for that opportunity. But the Spirit's starting to move the ball, John, around very well. That last goal certainly picked them up. Now Dave MISL wants a new ball. I guess Erhard destroyed that one. He probably lost some air in it.
If you had watched this first 15 minutes without seeing the goals, you would think that, and you didn't know the score, you'd probably think Dallas was ahead, the way they controlled the flow of play in the middle part. But Spirit with a couple good rushes and 2 goals.
Look at Erhard Cap, who got a key to the city of Pittsburgh when he had played on the U.S. Olympic team. Ball is played back, and there's a whistle from somewhere else. Bill Maxwell, way upfield. There, we're looking at him. Okay, Bill, what's going on?
The call was on Marcio. They wanted him out of the penalty arc.
Ball is played now to David Stride. Couldn't imagine what that whistle was from. It came from right around the midfield area.
Well, the ball had to go out and back before Phillips could pick it up. Marcio was in the penalty arc right above the box, and that's why Maxwell, who was behind, made the call.
Erhard Cap, a couple of moves there. Now it's Ingram. Shaking free of Doc Lawson. Godfrey tied with Paul Child now for the scoring leadership on the club with 36 points. Topolsky to Leite, wants to spin, gives it for Ingram. Godfrey one-on-one against the Doctor. He'll win it, but he'll lose it at the very end to Billy Phillips.
And the fans thought that Doc used his body to win that ball rather than winning the ball just with his feet.
Doc Lawson has played every year in the MISL. One of the originals, only 14 of them left.
Remember when he was with Los Angeles? He's always been a very physical player, and he's got good size, 6 feet, 180.
On the right, John O'Hara.
Oh, good
Cuts
first.
Still passing it for Leyte. Marcio knocked away, but O'Hara's back for it. Try to reverse it. Dangerous pass right across, and it's picked off.
I wasn't sure if O'Hara saw.
I don't think he did.
Coming up, and I was kind of surprised when he did that nifty pass, put it on the foot, but nothing happened.
Ball is cleared the other way. And now Pittsburgh in their own zone. 1:15 to go. First quarter, Spirit doing all right. They're leading the Dallas Sidekicks 2-1. Complete reversal from the way they came out against Wichita Friday, where they're totally flat. Those games will happen in every sport, but Pittsburgh doesn't want to see them here. Not in the stretch drive for a playoff spot as McKenzie hooks it back for Helmut Dudek. He'll chest it down with 54 seconds left. First quarter, a 2-1 Spirit lead. Can they get more? Sibbies cranks it. It's loose. Child saved by Billy Phillips. What a great opportunity there. Paul Child cannot believe it.
Neither can I.
Well,
I don't know how the ball didn't go in the net.
Actually, if you want to talk about it, I don't believe it either. I was ready to flick the red light on myself from up here.
Reach for the pencils, boys. Put that one in the book.
All right, we'll look at it again.
There's the drive. Now here's Child. He mishit the ball and knocked it right to Phillips. He had the entire net to shoot at, and he just miskicked the ball.
Really, it's not really a big save for Billy Phillips, as we saw it again the second time.
It was looked like Paul Child was aiming at him.
Billy Phillips back the other way. Now the number 2 keeper on the Sidekicks. Now Child wanted to play it back. I thought for Sibbies it's too long. Klimcharski in a collision. Dudek keeps it alive. 15 seconds left in the quarter, and it will land in the Spirit bench.
Paul's going to be talking to himself a little bit, because that was not a good setup that time, as the ball went over the head of the intended man. And
well, you forget too, he cost Mrs. Barbara Miller $100 in groceries.
That's right.
You don't, we don't believe it, but she's upset.
Yeah, that means that Paul won't be going to her house for dinner.
Not unless he scores in 14 seconds. We've got a Dallas foul. That's 2 on the Sidekicks. Ian Sibbies putting it in play. Dudek cranks it. It's blocked, and Dallas just blasts it out of there. Time may expire with Pittsburgh still with it inside their own line. Down to 5 seconds. McKenzie holding it. Going long for Child, trying to flick it out the boards, and that's it. That's the horn. That's the end of
4 for Dallas. David Bursich did not have a save in the first 15 minutes. 2 for Billy Phillips and the Pittsburgh Spirit. Set to go here. Pedro DeBrito has it. Dallas working it into the Pittsburgh zone. It's Billy Caskey banging it around all the way back to Stan Terlecki. We're just underway in the second quarter here in the Civic Arena. Dallas intercepts. Some space as Caskey brings it up. Trying to come back into the middle, and it's broken up and brought back by Kapka. Or Valtuksha, rather. All the way to Terlecki, crossing in a goal. The Spirit lead it 3-1. Credit Tuksha for bringing it up. Terlecki made the pass. Kapka got the goal, and the Spirit are really running their lanes very well.
Well, they get it 33 seconds into the quarter. It's a big goal. Tuksha, as you say, keys it. He's coming right up the middle. Uremovich missing one way. It slid right side and Stan never thinking about the goal. Goes far post, and Kapka's there. If you took it back a lot further, the play actually started the other way when Dallas missed a great opportunity. Here's Tuksha again. 3 players too close. No one on Terlecki, no pressure. Puts it far post, and Kapka's there. But right up the field the other way after Caskey knocked the ball away from Terlecki. He had Fabiani wide open. Does not deliver the ball. Pittsburgh gets it back, and they come up the field and score.
That foul goes against the Dallas Sidekicks. 14:23 remaining. Spirit goals now. 2 by Kapka, 1 by Green, and Stan Terlecki has a pair of assists. And the Spirit will control. Right near midfield, McKenzie on with Tuksha. Great run by Tuksha. Good to see him healthy again to do that. Green in the corner against Wes McLeod. Knocked away that time by Victor Moreland. And back they come. This is Louis Nanchoff in the middle against McKenzie. Still controlling. Now goes in the corner. Knocked down in front by Bursich. It comes out of the box area. Marcio Leyte will take it. Looking for Tuksha. It's broken up by Wes McLeod. And then Doc Lawson will try to settle in front of Phillips. This is David Stride with it.
Look up, look up, look up!
Kevin Smith. And they go far side to Wes McLeod, trying to work it this time rather slowly into the zone. Now down the far side, it's Nanchuk. Taken away from him by Johnny O'Hara. Back to David Bursich. Godfrey Ingram has some room on the right side for Earhart Cap. Earhart is knocked down. No call. Back comes Caskey. He's nailed. That goes against John O'Hara.
And Don Popovic is on the bench, and he's probably saying, how come it wasn't a foul the other way when Cap got nailed? Looked like the same play, at least from the bench point of view, as we take another look at it, as John O'Hara gets in the way of Billy Caskey. No, we don't have it.
13:21 remaining in the first half, 3-1. Spirit leading by 2.
Christine Miller to gate 7. Christine Miller
In the corner, DeBrito against Cap. Earhart wins the ball. DeBrito looks at the official. He wanted a call, didn't get it.
They're former teammates with the Cosmos outdoor soccer team.
It's Topolsky and O'Hara on defense right now. Cap, Leite, and Ingram ahead. This is Leite. Good little move to get away from Lawson. Looking for the rebound as Ingram carries too far. Picked up by Caskey. He's got David Stride to his left. Tries to go forward with it. Earhart Cap intercepts. Earhart works it free. He's tripped as he goes in across the red line. That will be a penalty. 2 minutes coming up against Dallas, and the Pittsburgh Spirit are going to have a power play.
We'll take another look. Earhart with a great burst of speed there, beating David Stride, and he is upended. The Spirit will get an extra man.
Stride will go in the box. Pittsburgh leading 3-1. We'll be back with more Pittsburgh Spirit soccer. And we have a good crowd on hand. Spirit with their first power play of the afternoon, and on the power play, 33% conversion rate for Pittsburgh. They've hit on 24 of 72 chances. You flip it over to the other side, the Sidekicks have killed off, have given up 34 goals in 108 chances.
One major change in the Spirit power play. Stan Terlecki now playing right wing for the second straight game in place of Ian Sibbies. The Spirit had used the same power play all year, but now they're working Stan into it.
Along with Leite, Ingram, Dudek on the far side. Terlecki drives one, tries to reverse it back to the middle. Still controls. Stan's got some room. Dudek in front looking for Child. Terlecki looks for the rebound, doesn't get it. And Bursich will come to help out.
They got the right ideas. They're looking around. They're trying to find people. Stan pulled the ball out wide when he saw Paul Child going down. Made a good ball, though, to Dudek across the field.
The blonde right in the middle is Ed Radwanski, who's on for the first time this afternoon, out on the penalty-killing unit.
He's the #1 draft choice of the entire Major Indoor Soccer League, and usually is out there in a penalty-killing role.
Wes McLeod is on this unit, along with Billy Caskey. Terlecki now being marked in front by Mark Evans, who is on. That's the unit that tries to kill off the penalties. And in the penalty, we have 1 minute and 13 seconds left. Marcio faked a drive. Dudek pops it loose in front. Ingram looking for a rebound, looking for Child, who can't connect. Now it comes back to Ingram. Good chance again for Paul Child. Tackled away out in front by the defense. It comes back to Godfrey Ingram. Terlecki turning, shooting. That's knocked down in front. Back it comes to McLeod. He'll take some time off the clock. We have 40 seconds left in the power play. That's Kevin Smith battling Marcio Leite. Leite wins the ball.
Just 30 seconds left and time for another rush for the Pittsburgh Spirit. They could really try to put some space between them and Dallas if they score on a power play here.
Ingram still controls, goes to Stan Terlecki. Stan loses control of the ball. Ingram keeps it in. Good pressure being applied once again by Wes McLeod. 14 seconds left. Terlecki with his back to the goal. For Leite, he settles against Radwanski. Now Stan, a little bit of room. See what he does. Looking for Child. This tackled away from him. Nicely done that time by Mark Evans again. The penalty is over. And back quickly is Stride over the head of Bursich, but he missed. David was way out, of course, trying to back up that power play, keep the ball in the attack zone. And when the man came out of the penalty box, he was all alone. Terlecki looking in front. It goes right to Phillips before Klincharski could get there.
Lots of times, John, a player will come out of the box and figure in the attack. That time Pittsburgh was lucky that it was a defender who does not have the offensive skills of a good striker. Otherwise, that might have been chipped right over David and into the goal.
Klincharski back at his own red line with 10 minutes and 11 seconds left first half. Reversing to McKenzie. Back to Tuchia right at midfield. 10 minutes exactly remaining first half. Child looks for the ball. Wins it. To Klincharski, cutting across the top of the arc. Now back for Civies. He does the same thing. Tries to shoot, and it's knocked away by Pedro De Brito. 3-1, the Spirit leading on 2 goals by Z Kapka, 1 by Charlie Green, a pair of assists for Stan Terlecki. Tuchia can't control. Kasky does. It is a handball on Kasky. So Tuchia, who set up one of those Spirit goals with a beautiful rush up the field, helping Terlecki and Kapka get in position for the Spirit third goal. That one came 33 seconds into this second quarter. In the corner, Klincharski, marked by Yurimovich. Tuchia to McKenzie. Too hard, he can't control. Phillips is out of the goal. McKenzie trying to get it back in for Child. Phillips is out of the box with a header. They had him where they wanted him, JP.
It doesn't show in the score sheet, but Paul Child made that play. He drew Phillips out of there and forced him into that spot by winning that ball, and McKenzie's shot just was blocked.
De Brito's bicycle kick sets up a rush by Dallas, but the ball goes harmlessly into the Pittsburgh zone as the Sidekicks change on the fly. Less than 9 minutes left first half. Tuchia marked tightly by Fabiani as it goes over the glass and out of play.
Here's where I think Pittsburgh's got to do some more damage to Dallas, John, because they are outplaying the Dallas Sidekicks, and they want to have something to show for it. When they go into the dressing room at halftime, it's important that they have at least the 2-goal lead that they have now, if not more, because they are playing like they deserve it. The other night against Wichita, they were a totally flat team, and as we said before, that can happen, but it was important for the Spirit to forget about that game completely. This is a new game, and if they came out flat against Dallas, it could be a long afternoon here. But so far, they've gotten their act together. A couple of goals by Zeke Kapka, but the man who has really made the offense gel, as you mentioned before, is Terlecki.
8 minutes and 47 seconds left in the first half. Phillips will walk it up. His own red line with Terlecki hanging around the edge there. De Brito goes to Lawson. And Doc keeps coming with his dribble. Now drives it around the boards right to David Bursic. David 15 and 15 on the year, but he deserves a much better fate than that. Long lead ball in the corner for Kapka. De Brito picks it up. This is Lawson. They come back once again to Louis Nanchoff. All the way across, Kevin Smith is number 10. And back to David Stride, who is on for his second shift after serving a 2-minute penalty. The Spirit not able to score on that power play. 3-1, Pittsburgh leading. Knocked away by O'Hara, but right to Lawson. He's got Stride there and De Brito. Blocked by Topolsky at midfield. Terlecki with a run. Stan trying to get it back to Adam Topolsky, can't do it.
Stan's still not at 100%, John. He's getting closer, but we're seeing him play. This is the most action he's had in the first half. Lots of times he'll get longer rest, but he's played a regular shift.
McLeod in the corner with a drive that got under the leg of McKenzie. It was not an easy save for David Bursic. The 2 goals so far by Z Kapka, who has the ball right now.
And it's his first multiple goal game since April 19, 1984. I remember that game, 6-5 in Baltimore. He scored 4 times.
He has 2 so far in the first half. We still have 7 minutes remaining in this period. Another 30 minutes to follow here on Spirit Soccer. And I remind you again that coming up in 3 weeks, we'll be in Dallas for the final meeting of the year between these 2 teams. And it looks like it's going to be Dallas and Pittsburgh right in the fight for that 4th and final playoff spot in the Eastern Division. It'll be even if the Spirit win this afternoon. Knocked away by Yurimovich. He's marked by Erhard Kapp, who gets the foul. That's the first one in the quarter against Pittsburgh. We have 3 so far on Dallas.
We'll take another look as Kapp clipping Yurimovich from the back of the ankles.
Bursic is right there, but they had already called a foul, so it would not have counted had it gone in. That's 4 now as Adam Topolsky goes to Bursic, gets it back. 6:30 to play. First half, 3-1. The Spirit leading the Dallas Sidekicks. That's McLeod who took over. Nanchoff stumbling and dropped as he tried to get it into the box. It is been a wide open match so far.
I don't know if you saw it or if our camera was on as we have another foul. That's 5, but Cap collided with David Bursic, and that was as hard a hit as you'll see. And fortunately, there's no problem. David left the game the other night. He had appeared he had pulled something in the game against Wichita, but obviously he's okay by virtue of him getting the starting assignment this afternoon.
Now, the foul situation, 5 for Dallas, 1 for Pittsburgh.
Here's a guy that can draw that 6th foul, Stan Chalecki.
Knocked away by McLeod. The pass intended for Godfrey Ingram. Now Cap takes over some room. It's a 3-on-2 right now. Right side, Stan with a drive, knocked away by Phillips. And Doc Lawson takes over. Takaski right at midfield now.
Only one.
Double team McLeod quickly and get the ball to Bursic. Good job that time by Cap, who retreated, made the defensive play. He sits down. Klincharski is on, has the ball. Working against DeBrito, looking in front for Sibbies, who's knocked away by Uremovich. 5:15 left. First half. Civic Arena. Sibbies with a chance. Tackled away from him by Uremovich. Sibbies won it, then lost it. Goes to Stride. Marcio Leite there. Good job of keeping the ball in the zone. Marcio now. Looks for Dudek. Good spot to draw a foul too, JP. Tuksha. Marcio spinning. Shooting. Knocked away in front. DeBrito has it.
You've got a good chance to draw that 6th foul because Dallas is the most penalized team, and they have been for a good part of the MISL season. They've got several aggressive players, and they'll draw those penalties. Sibbies and DeBrito, legs getting crossed, and that foul going on Sibbies.
Sibbies was the aggressor that time. 4:40 left first half. Stride reverses it to his goalkeeper and then steps to the bench as Victor Moreland is on. Spirit taking over at midfield. O'Hara with it. Offensively for Dallas, a very quiet quarter to this point. Diego Castro comes across midfield to Mark Tuksha. Almost wins the ball. Klincharski has it. O'Hara. And Leite, player right now at midfield. Tuksha decides to move it into the attack zone. Moreland is pushing on Klincharski. Nicky still has it. He'll cross in front. Drive one in between. Good back heel attempt by Sibbies. Phillips got a part of the ball to break it up.
That's a real good save because no matter what, whether Sibbies hits it or not, he at least screens the goalkeeper. And for Phillips to come up there, that's big. Tell you what, a guy who has not been real busy, though, is David Bursic on the other end. We've not had to see him make any real big saves so far.
We might now. In front. Green clears it. But it's broken up by Stride. Looks in the corner for DeBrito, and it's Green back. 3-on-2 Pittsburgh. Charlie comes to the middle. He's got Kapka to his right. Here's Z. Back to Green. He hit the post on the left side.
He never really had full control of that pass back, but I'll tell you what he did. He saw that hold, and like a good running back, went right up the middle for it and put on that burst of speed to get free. And as that ball came back to him, it was slightly behind him, and it still almost went in.
Less than 3 now remaining in the first half of play. Diego Castro controlling for Dallas. Kapka knocks it away. Child tries to track it down. Can't at midfield. McLeod wins that ball. Sets up Stride. 2:40 to play in the first half. 3-1. The Spirit leading. Led 1-0 in the first period on Z. Kapka's 7th of the year. And then Fabiani scored. It has been a long break, hasn't it? 2:35 remaining in the first half. 3-1. Spirit back in this building on March 13th against the Chicago Sting. They'll be headed for Minnesota next week, playing there on Friday night. This is the end of the road trip for Dallas. They'll be home to Chicago on Wednesday night. Here's Paul Child with some room. Child stops it. Looking for Ingram. He can't get a foot on it. Long lead ball for Nanchoff. But Dudek is there. Bursic with a long throw. Child can't get there. It goes over all 3 lines. That's the one offside violation or 3-line violation that there is. Quickly, Dallas comes back to put it in play. Kevin Smith is number 10 with the ball. Back for Doc Lawson, who's playing defense right now with Victor Moreland. This is Moreland. We count down to 2 minutes remaining. Some room. Nanchoff looking for a rebound. Follow shot. That one hit Bursic right in the face. Nanchoff double teamed in the corner, still controlling. Finally, Dudek takes it away. Dallas winning it back. 2 players go down. Remember, Dallas still with 5 fouls. We have 1:41 to play in the first half. Paul Child. Kapka trailing. Z went one way. Paul brought the ball back the other way. Now Dudek. To Z Kapka. McKenzie marked by Nanchoff, so he just heads it right back upfield. Ball loose. The Dallas zone now back to midfield. It bounces out of play. Dallas will put it in play with 1:15 left in the first half. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit soccer.
Face, but right before that, Louis Nanchoff had a great chance to shoot. He played it off the boards, and there was really no one there. And the only reason McLeod gets a shot is, as I recall, it deflected off Z Kapka, and it came right back in the middle.
Terlecki, lead ball for Tuchia down the right side. He's got Sibbies on the left going for him, and it's broken up in front. David Stride went down to make the tackling save that time. If that ball gets through to Ian, he's got a lot of net to work with. 1 minute left in the first half, and out of play it goes again. Started too quickly, so back they come again.
What's amazing is that Dallas, being a very reckless and very aggressive team, has not even by accident picked up that 6th foul. Remember, it can even be a slight thing like a handball, and they've not had that, but they've not really slowed down. They've still gone after 50-50 balls as we look at Gordon Jago, and you'll be talking to him at halftime. We hope you'll stick around for that conversation. Gordon Jago, who some feel could be a very serious candidate, myself included, for Coach of the Year for the job he's done.
Nanchoff with some room on the left side. Looks in front. Bursic makes the save. That one was headed for the right corner. Kasky controls. He goes down. The foul is on Pittsburgh. That's 3. Spirit really would like to get that foul and get a power play that could carry over to the second half. Cap. Trying to draw the foul. Can't do it. Nanchoff with some room. Now the Spirit have got to turn their thoughts to defense. They do. Here's Terlecki with room down the right side. Stan. Loses as Moreland takes over, goes back to Phillips. Now we have 15 seconds remaining. Lead ball for Kasky. Topolsky with him. Adam wins. He goes down. Is that the foul? Yes, it is.
You know, when you're aggressive, when you have a lot of penalty minutes, it's not a detriment to your club. It really shows your hustle, your character. I think that's one of the reasons their penalty minutes, that league-leading stat. I think that's one of the reasons why Dallas has been able to win as many games, especially on the road where some teams can get intimidated. They don't.
About a 5-6 on the dive taken by Topolsky.
Yeah, I think he helped it.
There's a drive. Spirit trying to get the ball on net before the period ends. We have 1 second remaining. That's what they wanted to do, was get the foul, because that's going to put them in good shape. 1:51 of a power play to start the second half of play. All right. So the Spirit will try to set up that power play. This is their second chance of the game. It came because of 6 fouls in the second quarter of play against Dallas. Ingram right at the red line, moves now. Closer to the top of the arc. Marcio will drive one from outside, missed just to the left. Phillips reached out for it, but it was beyond him. It was wide. You see Radwanski, who is on the penalty killing unit for Dallas. He's out there along with Kevin Smith once again. Mark Evans marking Paul Child right in front of the crease, right in front of the goal, which is where Child stays almost the entire game. Here's Ingram taking it in, looking for Stan Terlecki. Let's see what Stan does. Back to Ingram. Marcio. Dudek, as they swing it all the way around, looking for some kind of a crack, some kind of an opening. Drive, save Phillips. He crawls to pick it up right in front of number 17, Mark Evans.
They didn't want to waste the shot. They worked it around the perimeter, tried to get the good shot. They were hoping that they could spring Child free, but when they were unable to do so or get it to him, Marcio just cranked one up.
Well, maybe one more good opportunity here, because the penalty clock is down to 30 seconds. Terlecki marked on the far side by McLeod. Good pressure by McLeod because he's forcing the ball back. Now Ingram takes it in. Godfrey using the boards, looking for Child for a header. Dudek with a follow. And is headed up and out of play by Evans. So still some time, 15 seconds, and the good news is the ball will be put in play from the corner by Marcio Leite. Bill Maxwell getting everybody set. Marcio all the way over now to Stan Terlecki. 10 seconds remaining in the penalty. It came just 9 seconds before the end of the second quarter. Now only 4 seconds. One more chance maybe. Terlecki turning, tackled away from him. Ingram follows, misses up high. And it's cleared out of there by Radwanski. Quickly back on. The Dallas player returns in the person of Victor Moreland, who was serving the penalty, and the teams are at even strength. Dudek a drive. Terlecki there for the rebound. It's just high, just missed the crossbar. Now Kapka, who has 2 goals, looking for the hat trick. Spirit still keeping the pressure on. 12:45 to play in the third quarter. Ingram chests it down in front of Ed Radwanski to Terlecki. And finally, there'll be a foul against Stan Terlecki, I'm sure, as he was marking Wes McLeod.
Next goal is going to be an important one, John, because we mentioned before that Pittsburgh was controlling things in the second quarter, but they were unable to get a goal. And I'll give Dallas credit. They killed off that power play. But if Dallas can score the next goal, they're within 1. If Pittsburgh gets it, maybe they can get that killer instinct going and put Dallas away.
Blikaski looking in front, hitting the deck is Fabiani. Gets up quickly. Bursic can't decide where to go. Finally distributes the ball to Val Tuksha for Cibbies. Tuksha with a run. He has the ball. DeBrito takes him into the corner and knocks him down.
That's 2.
That will be a penalty. The third one of the score on this one. They could be in some trouble. It might change the tempo of the game.
What's that saying? 3 times is the charm?
I hope so. Quickly, Ingram with a shot. Goes through the box. Dudek is there looking for the rebound. Child missed it. Terlecki turning. It's deflected up and out of play.
See what Stan does so well, though. A lot of players would have forced a shot there and it would have been blocked. Not 9 times out of 10, but 10 out of 10. But he made a great cut as we look at the near miss first. Dudek right through. That's a good ball there, but it hops on Paul Child, it looks like, at the end, maybe with a little too much spin coming through, and then Stan made his move and it was blocked, and we've got a corner kick for Pittsburgh.
3-1 is the score. 11:52 to play. Dudek looking for Child, trying to reverse the direction of the ball. Can't do it. Ingram settles it down. 1:45 remaining in the penalty. Ingram will take it into the corner, looking for Child on a rebound off the boards. But Dudek has to take it to Marcio Leite, who has not touched the ball much on the power play so far here in the second half. 1:25 on the penalty. 11:22 left. Saved by Phillips on the shot by Ingram. Looking for a breakaway. And it's Bursic who has to come out and win the ball. And just does from Radwanski. That one goes high. Out of play. 11:11 left third quarter. 3-1 the score.
Pittsburgh was lucky because as Bursic tried to clear it up the middle, Radwanski got a piece. If that ball deflects and stays in front of him, then that whole net is empty. But boy, how did Pittsburgh fall behind on that one as we look the other way? Kevin Smith, that's the end of that play as he put that one upstairs. He was studying Earhart Cap's first quarter shot.
Here is Marcio Leite looking for Child. A drive by Ingram is blocked in front. It was blocked nicely out of play that time by Mark Evans.
Pittsburgh with 56 seconds left to the man advantage. Billy Phillips is getting sharper. It's going to take maybe a little more passing or just a great all-around shot to beat him. He's starting to pick up here.
50 seconds left in the penalty. 10:50 left third quarter. Terlecki to Leite, and that's knocked away by Radwanski. Drive by Dudek. Cleared away by the Sidekicks. So with 35 seconds left, they'll start over. Mark Carpin is on the carpet, number 18. Looking for Child, it comes back to Marcio Leite. Fans trying to produce some noise and help the Spirit, but it comes back to Bursic with 20 seconds left in the penalty. One more chance for the Spirit. Marcio. Ingram. Godfrey to Marcio. A drive off his foot to Dudek. It's knocked away. 4 seconds left in the penalty. Keep in mind that player is going to come back on the field shortly. Carpin has it. it. DeBrito is back on.
98 decibels, the highest this season for our Spirit crowd.
And Bursic sets it up. So 3 times, JP, the Spirit have had the power play twice already. You have to consider that almost 4 minutes of this third quarter, the Spirit have had the power play and have nothing to show for it.
And the power play has been a major factor in the Spirit winning the last several games. They've won 4 out of their last 5, but overall the power play has been in the top 5 all year.
Juremovic, long lead ball in the corner for Kasky. Kasky marked from behind by Tukcha, who's all right and back on. Sibby's went one way, Terlecki went the other. Now Dallas with a chance. DeBrito a drive looking far post. Trying to sneak in was Fabiani, who has the only goal of the game. Couldn't do it. And we have 9 minutes left in the third quarter. A 3-1 soccer match. The Spirit leading. Sibby's tackling on the play. Juremovic went up and over, hits the deck.
Want to see some acrobatics? Let's look again. As Juremovic and Sibby's. Look at that. That hurts too when you land on that carpet. There's no real give on it. The ice surface is underneath. That's a dive. That's a world-class dive.
It's going to go as foul number 3.
That one was funny. That's how bad it was. Godfrey Ingram is telling him.
5-9 for Kasky. Drive just crossing the mouth of the goal. DeBrito not able to come up with it. Tukcha tried to make a run, came up empty. Back comes Dallas. Here's a chance. Just missing to the right side. Juremovic had a wide open net and he missed it to the right. Back they come again. Kasky looking in the corner. Fabiani has it now. And it's headed home by DeBrito, and it's a 3-2 soccer match.
John, that is outdoors, but remember, Dallas had a chance before when Juremovic walked in, Pittsburgh not marking as tightly, and Dallas is moving that ball around, and Pittsburgh had 3 opportunities on that power play. They don't score, and here comes Dallas, so watch out.
Well, the Sidekicks simply had them outnumbered inside. They had a couple other people looking for the pass from Moreland. It was DeBrito who got the head on it, knocked it home. His 21st of the year. He's a good goal scorer.
That's credit Billy Kasky, too, because remember, Tukcha would have broke up the side. He makes the tackle, and the ball never really left that zone.
So the goal comes at 5:29, and it's 3-2. I hope my fears about not being able to score on those power plays are unfounded, but here's a chance now for Klimcharski. Looking for Green, just missed high. Phillips may have gotten a piece of it, but Charlie had a chance for his second goal of the afternoon. Castro heading it into the corner. Back it comes from Bursic. Paul Child, he's pushed a little bit by David Stride. Now David McKenzie has it. Johnny O'Hara. 7:32 left, third quarter. 3-2. DeBrito with his 21st, and Dallas right back in at leg save that time, and a shot by Kapka. A couple good shots from the left side by Z this afternoon.
Well, his confidence is there. He scored on a couple. He's not afraid to take those chances, and that time very aggressive once more. It paid off almost right there on the goal.
Carpenter, who was a big goal scorer last year, has only 5 this year. Kasky with some room, misses right side. Dallas putting some pressure on now. O'Hara tries to clear and does.
Carpenter is just coming back after some knee surgery. He got off to a good start this year, scoring in his first couple of games, but then he missed most of the year as the ball is knocked out of play, and Gordon Jago bringing him along slowly, but he's a threat to score. He's also a member of Canada's World Cup team, a very good young player.
The timeout is going to be taken
on the far boards, but he started to pick up and really play some decent soccer for the Dallas Sidekicks.
Spirit putting it in play, but it goes all the way into the corner where Juremovic will try to run it down against Green. Child comes in to help out. Now the Spirit trying to put some pressure on. McKenzie battling. He's double teamed, and a foul called on Dallas. Second one of the quarter against the Sidekicks. 3 so far on Pittsburgh. Mack going for Green. Shakes loose to Dallas. Back they come. In the corner, O'Hara. Keeps it, tries to move it around. Namchov can't do it. Back it comes. McKenzie, all he's going to do is just drive it out of there. Most of the offensive pressure in this quarter coming from Dallas. Juremovic at his own red line. DeBrito, who has one of the 2 Dallas goals. Fabiani has For Pittsburgh, 2 goals for Z. Kapka and 1 for Charlie Green. But Dallas very much in it. It's 3-2 with 5:57 left. In front it comes Green battling against Uremovich, who wins the ball. Back to Moreland. Child will mark him. In the arc, it comes loose over the head of Bursic, missing the goal. O'Hara can't clear. And David will come out of the goal. He'll have to win the ball. Charlie Green. O'Hara with a save. Still, Bursic is not in there.
This does not make the highlight film. Or maybe it does if you want to have a little fun with it. That was hectic, wasn't it? Helter-skelter back there.
And it's a very helpless situation for the other defensive players because they know they can't touch the ball with their hands.
And the worst thing is we get to see it all over again. Bursic off the glass. You're right, he has to win it. But there's Nanchuk who makes a good play. There's David trying to make the tackle. Luckily, he didn't get hurt there. O'Hara heading it one time.
That's the most active I've seen David all year. Now watch him make a sliding tackle.
Oh, yeah.
But he knows he's in no man's land.
Yeah, it's good stuff if you don't get caught, and it's entertaining for the fans, but coaches don't really like it.
3-2 is the score. Pittsburgh still leading by 1. It was 2-1 after the first quarter, 3-1 at halftime, and here in the third quarter, 5:20 left, it's 3-2. Terlecki brings it back to Topolsky. Adam will reverse as he's pressured by Fabiani.
Look at the Dallas pressure now, though. They're marking up. They're trying to pick up Pittsburgh and force Bursic to come out right here.
David does. He goes midfield. Crazy bounce off the boards. All the way back to Doc Lawson. It was intended for Terlecki, and I thought he had a good spot, but it kicked crazily away from the boards. At midfield. Spirit will take over now. Godfrey Ingram will bring it back. Looking for Stan. Back to Godfrey. Cuts it to the right side. Still controlling as he takes it into the corner. He's got Terlecki in the box area. Cap also there for some offensive pressure. Here's Stan. Bumped by Doc Lawson. Stan will keep his dribble all the way back to midfield. Now Topolsky to Ingram. Down goes Godfrey. Topolsky misses just to the right side.
Great passing sequence, though, by the Pittsburgh Spirit.
And Cap keeps the pressure on. Ingram to Earhart. Good reversal. Good shot. Phillips was able to stay with him, though. The advantage for Phillips there was he had to play right in front of him. No screeners. He was able to keep his eye.
He knew the only move Earhart could make was if he turned that way, and that's why he was ready for that shot. But Earhart did everything well. He executed it properly, but there was not that much he could do with it.
3:52 left. Uremovich works it up. It's blocked there by Helmut Dudek. Dallas trying to keep some pressure on. They've got it in the corner. That one is blocked by Ingram. Fabiani had a chance. Here's Klincharski, but it's a 2-on-3. The numbers aren't good unless they can make the right kind of pass. And they don't. Phillips wins the ball. Ingram keeps it in to Terlecki. Well, not Ingram. Helmut Dudek keeps it in. Klincharski at the red line. Back to McKenzie. Here's Helmut. There's Godfrey. Let's see if he turns on Moreland. Tries to. Reverses and loses the ball. Klincharski. And it goes from Moreland's foot right to Phillips.
A little faster than Phillips wanted it to come back to him, too. You can be sure of that.
3 minutes, 5 seconds left, third quarter. 3-2. Good match here in the Civic Arena, the MISL. The only other score we had was Cleveland leading. Or rather, Baltimore leading Cleveland, I guess, wasn't 3-2.
Baltimore, Wichita.
Yeah.
Something like that.
You're right, it's Baltimore, Wichita, and Baltimore was leading 3-2. Lawson cannot get around Ingram. Godfrey has the ball. Came off the foot of Diego Castro. Lead for Stan Terlecki. Stan against David Stride. Stan's got a little bit of room now. Looking for Klincharski. Sibby's also coming up, but Dallas wins it, and back comes Stride. Number 2 gets past Pittsburgh's number 2, McKenzie. See what he does with it. Rolls it around. Bursic is there. That time David Stride did a good job. He just didn't have any help.
He's all by himself in that run, and he's not an offensive player.
There's some room. Sibby's run off the ball, and it's picked up by DeBrito. Still loose in front. Finally, it comes to Phillips. Terlecki will come off. Marcio Leite returns to the carpet. Minute and 52 seconds left in the third quarter. The Spirit hanging on to a 1-goal lead. That's out of play. Minute 45 left on Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. The Spirit lead it by 1. Program program and some of the companies that are also involved. All part of the community effort that is ongoing with the Pittsburgh Spirit, and they've done an excellent job. Minute 40 left to play in the third quarter. Bursic, long distribution this time. Sibby's heads it in, and Moreland brings it back out again. They'll chase it to the bench area. Bang a few bodies in front. Nothing called. They play on. Some room on the right side. Marcio did not get the ball quick enough to Sibby's, and it was cut off by McLeod. But Pittsburgh still keeping the pressure on. Valtukcia reverses. Looking for Topolsky. Topolsky can't win the ball. Adam decides not to take a chance because all of a sudden it can be behind you. Into the corner they come. Kasky rolls it around. Topolsky will clear it back to midfield. Nobody there. Dallas back again.
1 minute remaining in the third quarter.
Inside a minute now in the third quarter. Kasky will work it in. Runs into his own player. It's a break for Pittsburgh because back comes Tukcia. Charlie Green, who has one of the Spirit goals. Charlie goes down trying to dive forward. Call will go against Dallas. And the foul's even out at 3-3, but it's not a factor in this period, JP, because we only have 43 seconds left.
This has been Dallas' quarter, John. They only scored 1 goal, but that's 1 more than Pittsburgh had. They've taken a 3-1 deficit and made it 3-2, and they also killed off a couple of Spirit power plays in order to do that. So they took momentum away from the Spirit, who had it at the start of the quarter, and it's theirs right now.
Kapka is on. He has 2 of the 3 Spirit goals. Both the goal scorers are on right now because Charlie Green's out there as well, but it's Doc Lawson trying to corral the ball. Works his way in against Charlie. Brings it back. He's so big, it's tough to get the ball away from him. Back to Phillips. Marcio on the doorstep. That'll be a 3-line pass.
Phillips had nowhere to go with it. He didn't want to make a bad pass and have it be picked off, especially by Leite, who was on there. And we've mentioned before, Marcio already with more goals, more assists, more points than he had a year ago, and red hot. 7 goals in his last 6 games.
13 seconds remaining in this third quarter of play. Marcio trying to back in, loses control of the ball, and it's picked up by Louis Nanchoff. He's got McLeod running on the right side, but it's broken up by Green. With 4 seconds left, Topolsky will drive one from the red line. Phillips is there. That's it. We've played 3. Spirit
has anything left for that as Pittsburgh leads 3-2. And we'll see what they can do.
All right, JP, it's up to you now. It's a 1-goal lead for the Spirit. They've squandered 3 power play opportunities. Dallas has been coming on, putting some pressure on the Pittsburgh Spirit. They have a history of taking advantage of their shots. Let's see what happens in the final 15.
4th and final quarter is underway as Paul Child takes a bang off the boards for Charlie Green. He'll lose it to Wes McLeod. The give is for Louis Nanchoff. 3-2, Pittsburgh leading it. Nanchoff with a powerful left foot too high off the glass. Lawson settling it. Picked up by John O'Hara, Spirit captain. Captain of the team for the 5th straight year. Lawson blocked by O'Hara. It's loose. Kevin Smith leaves it off. McLeod, a shot off the post and out. Rebound. Save. David Bursic, a beauty.
That is the save of the afternoon.
Absolutely.
Bursic only had 3, but he came up big that time.
Tell you what, I thought that first one was going to go in there. That was right off the inside of the post. David Stride holding it.
The Spirit, JP, are giving an awful lot of room in that offensive zone. You cannot give Nanchoff that kind of room. He'll kill you.
Too much room as David Stride plays it off those boards for Wes McLeod. Dallas right now being the more aggressive team as it's sent all the way to the far side. Juremovic there for Louis Nanchoff. 31 goals this season for Nanchoff. Or I should say 30. I've given him 1 too many. DeBrito for Nanchoff, who scored 1 against Chicago yesterday. Has that great left foot. Doesn't go to it as he's forced off the ball by O'Hara, but Dallas keeps it alive. Juremovic for DeBrito off a deflection, and finally the Spirit will get it. Almost a minute and a half have gone by without Pittsburgh really being able to get that ball and go the other way, John.
I don't think the Spirit have had it in the offensive zone, have they?
No. This is the first time they've had the ball for 5 or 6 seconds or so as Topolsky takes it upfield for Paul Child. Right side, Ingram is blocked. Juremovic 3-on-3. Blocked on a nice tackle from Erhard Kapp, his former Cosmos teammate. DeBrito will bring it upfield for Billy Kasky.
Pittsburgh to gate 1.
Caskey is double teamed, plays it back to DeBrito in front of the Spirit bench. Back the other way for Lawson. Upfield, Oscar Fabiani, nice turn. Goes down. Caskey helps to keep it alive, but Paul Child should get there first. Child, though, in trouble, going one way. Double team, goes down, and they're going to call a foul on Victor Moreland and the Dallas Sidekicks, the first foul of the fourth quarter.
That's one way to get your man off the ball. The man you're trying to mark, just grab him and throw him down.
Helmut Dudek to David Bursic. The last time, John, the Spirit had a goal 33 seconds into the second quarter, and I thought that was the kind of a goal that would have given them a lot of momentum because it was at the very beginning of a quarter, and it was their second straight goal, but it did not. Dallas came back. Although Pittsburgh had a good second quarter, they did not score any more goals after that. We speculated about, hopefully, that it would not cost them, and hopefully it still is the same as DeBrito upends Terlecki. That's awful close to a 2-minute penalty.
Yes, DeBrito almost went back to the box for the second time. He's a very aggressive player, as all of the Sidekicks are, and it hurts him in the penalty area.
Whoa. Look worse the second time.
Not me. I didn't do it.
Topolsky will play it upfield for Terlecki. Stan against Doc Lawson. Cuts to his left. Stops that ball and looks around. Beat Lawson to his left in an earlier game. Stan will still lay on with it, but handball is going to be the call as that ball hopped up and hit him off the right hand. So we've got a second foul on Pittsburgh, as a handball violation is a foul. Dallas has 3 fouls. Now they put it down to 1 on Pittsburgh. Apparently it's their first foul. Ball deflected into the air, goes into the seats out of play. 11:54 still to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's still a good crowd this afternoon, JP. 10,972, and again, you and I both applaud the efforts of the Blazer Club to show their support for the Spirit. Make sure that the #1 most livable city in the country has soccer in the future.
Well, between hockey and soccer, 25,000 last couple of nights as the Penguins fill the building for Hartford. Here's Terlecki, the turn. Save a beauty, Billy Phillips, as he cut down Stan's angle.
Stan couldn't believe it. Phillips did the right thing by coming out. What you run the risk of course, is the quick rebound.
Ingram trying to play it back. If he doesn't come out, Stan could have made a couple of dekes and probably walked in. Juremovich back to Billy Phillips. Phillips used to be Slobodyevsky's backup goalkeeper, which means you don't get a lot of work there. And he has found a home as the backup right now to the Dallas Sidekicks. Still not getting a lot of work, but he can do a capable job when he comes on, as he's proving here, despite giving up that first goal on the first shot. Klimcharski now intercepting for Pittsburgh. 11:14 to go. Fourth quarter. Spirit lead by 1, 3-2. Kapka's got a couple of goals in this one. 1 goal for Charlie Green, Fabiani, and DeBrito for Dallas. Ingram along those boards. Blocked. Klimcharski clears it back now to Dave McKenzie. For Helmut Dudek, Klimcharski give and go. Helmut plays it up. He wanted Terlecki. It's going too fast around those boards. Phillips knocks it the other way. Wes McLeod for the Dallas Sidekicks. For Diego Castro. Knocking it back for Stride. If he goes back, he's in trouble. He never saw Terlecki breaking in. Very careless on the part of David Stride.
This is a long shift, too, for Stan Terlecki. He's been out there a long, long time.
Well, he still had enough gas in him to put that one by had he gotten to that ball. But David Stride got a little bit careless and never saw Stan Terlecki breaking the other way. Stan giving it now to Tuksha. Back for Dave McKenzie, and now to David Bursic. Bursic off those boards for Terlecki. On the left, Dave McKenzie. Back on the go. Mack picked up by Mark Carpin in the corner. Kapka trying to pass it out. It's blocked by the Sidekicks. They clear it out. Tuksha heads it right back the other way. And Val's hurt.
That's the second time that Val has taken it right on the nose or in the face.
Right in the same spot, it looks like, as he's in some pain. 9:59 to go. Fourth quarter. Pittsburgh leads. Ouch. Dallas 3-2. We're coming right back. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
Spirit as they make their drive to the playoffs with the Spirit April Drive package. You can receive the April 1st game versus Baltimore, the April 4th showdown with Cleveland, and the first Spirit playoff game, all at a $3 discount per ticket. To order your package, just send in a form on your fan release or call the Spirit 642-1806 for the Spirit April Drive package.
Let's take a look at some of the action that has preceded as we're getting set to come back to play.
Drop ball to resume play.
That one kicks right out in front. Now watch David. that is the save of the game, the one we were talking about earlier in this fourth quarter. And let's go down to the other end. Spirit with a good chance by Stan. He turns, and Phillips came out and just caught a piece of it, directed the shot the other way.
And we're back to live action as Phillips rolls it right side for Doc Lawson, number 22 for the Dallas Sidekicks. Up for Louis Nanchoff, blocked. O'Hara was in there. That's Marcio Leite for John O'Hara. The fouls are 3-1 Dallas. The score is 3-2 Pittsburgh. John O'Hara. Big game for the Pittsburgh Spirit. A very big game. If they win it, they're tied with Dallas for 4th place. They lose it, they're 2 full games behind, and then they hit the road for 3 straight. John O'Hara the other way for Green. Be nice if they can go on the road trip having won 4 of the 5 games at home, but if they lose this one here, they still have a full week to get back into things, but time could run out. Phillips will bring it up the field. We should point out the trading deadline expires tonight, 1 minute past midnight. If moves are going to be made, they will be made this evening. And we could watch you tonight because you may have it by then, right?
You can watch Steve tonight.
Steve tonight, okay. You're doing your work right now as we look at Val Tuksha. Tell you what, they get hit that hard in the same spot, but it shows you the aggressiveness. Anyone that says soccer is not an aggressive game, that guy goes up there, sacrifices his body, his facial features and all in that collision. Kevin Smith gives it up. Quick Lawson shot blocked by Leite. Another shot Moreland is blocked. Lawson will settle it down. And now we've got a foul. It's going to be called for holding on Pittsburgh. That's their second.
It's on Marcio Leite.
That is Dave Missel, the other referee out on the field. The senior referee is Bill Maxwell, and Siggy Brock is in the box. Lawson blasted on the set play. Blocked by Leite, the doctor again. Right back the other way. Victor Moreland going long. Right side. Louis Nanchoff with Topolsky on him. Louis wanting to turn. Wanted to play it back, now does, to Victor Moreland. Moreland holding it towards the box to Brito. Back for Victor Moreland. Victor still with it now. Plays it all the way back to the neutral zone. Juremovic for DeBrito. Green stepping right in front of him to knock it away. But Dallas will recover it again. Starting to hang on to that ball. Control things offensively. Give and go, a nice one, but O'Hara blocks it. He read it well and stole it away for Leite. Kapka joining in the run on the left. Marcio and DeBrito. Marcio spins free, but he can't get a good shot away, and Phillips is there to make the easy play and roll it right side. Juremovic holding up because the Sidekicks are changing on the fly.
And so are the Pittsburgh Spirit as Paul Child is on once again.
Both teams have played recently. Pittsburgh playing Friday. We'll see if anyone's going to get tired of this as Bursic comes up with it. Dallas played yesterday in Chicago and then traveled after that game. Luckily for them, it was an afternoon game, though, not a night game. Gave them a little more time to adjust. Otherwise, we would have had to take an early morning flight out this morning. We've got another foul that's called on Dallas, and now they've got 4 fouls, and they've got to be careful. They don't want to give Pittsburgh another power play opportunity, although shorthanded-wise, they've killed off the Spirit so far this afternoon. You may not be able to bank on that, though, all day.
Well, the Spirit are averaging 1 out of 3 on the power play, and they've had 3 and come up empty, so they're about due.
Kasky knocks it into the crowd. We'll go away as well, but come right back with us. The Spirit lead 3-2. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. Neil Roberts was sold from Chicago to Wichita. People are still scratching their heads all over trying to figure that one out. Erhard Kapp knocks it back. McKenzie to Helmut Dudek.
I think we will see a very aggressive Dallas effort. That foul should go against Erhard Kapp.
Yeah, that was aggressive as Kasky goes down. We're going to look at it again. Ouch. Erhard as Kasky hits the deck. Usually it's the other way around with Kasky being the aggressor, but that time it was Erhard Kapp, and I agree with you. I think that Gordon Jago told his guys, hey, this is so big, and right now you're within striking distance, and they've been doing the job of late, but they just haven't been able to score that last goal. David Stride going long, headed high into the air by Kapp. Bursic will just catch on to that one.
He was really not contested. Kasky was close enough that he could have, but he decided not to. Also keep in mind we will be selecting our Stroh's offensive and defensive players of the game before this one is over. I think that's your responsibility this week, isn't that right?
I think you're passing the buck, but I'll probably be forced to accept it as Phillips sends it long. Headed not out of play. It stays in play. Kasky is there. Played into the box. knocked away by Klinczarski.
Nice reversal of the ball that time by Fabiani.
Another nice one towards the box. McKenzie heads it out. Fabiani again. Headed out by McKenzie. Klinczarski, as we saw, a heading clinic. Nice ball, Child to Klinczarski. Ingram streaking on the left side. Nicky wants to cut on Victor Moreland, and does. By the penalty arc, holding it. Waiting. Shot blocked by Moreland. Ingram on it. Back to Klinczarski. Godfrey Ingram. Topolsky will crank it off the post by Child as he tried to deflect it home.
That's a combination that's worked many, many times, and Paul Child has had about 4 today that on many occasions he would probably make.
Yeah, that could have been, although there's plenty of time left, that could have been one of those goals that breaks Dallas's back. It does not. Topolsky will come back the other way for the Pittsburgh Spirit, who lead 3-2. Godfrey Ingram down the right side. Pittsburgh had the better first half, Dallas the better second half. John O'Hara hold it. Right side, Ingram. Turning on stride, knocks it back. He wanted Kapka, but there was a communications gap that time. Neither read the other correctly. Louis Nanchoff the other way for the Dallas Sidekicks. Dallas has never won in Pittsburgh. They trail 3-2, 5:10 to go in the game. Wes McLeod shooting it wide. Off Kapka, right to Lawson. Cranks it high off the glass. High into the air it goes off Wes McLeod. He'll knock it down. Almost got his own ball. Now Kapka in traffic and in trouble. Blocked by Mark Carpet. Look at the aggressive play, though, as the Dallas Sidekicks will win that ball.
Sibbies did a good job to get it out, but they didn't. No one's been able to take over. Now maybe O'Hara can.
Dallas just outworked Pittsburgh there. Simple. Terlecki the other way. Breaking was Sibbies, but it's too far away from him. Stan a little bit upset with himself. He made
that time, I think he passed too quickly.
Yeah, he made 2 good passes earlier.
Maybe he should have brought the ball up a little bit. There was plenty of room on the field. It wasn't like he was in traffic.
Oh, that's a bad foul on Wes McLeod. It's a dangerous play, but it's 5 on Dallas. It is 3-2. Pittsburgh, you're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
Thanks a lot to the officials here.
The Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. John Paul Della Camera with John Sanders. It's a 3-2 Spirit lead with 3:53 to go. The clock continues to tick downward.
Also keep in mind that 2 of the first 4 games between these 2 teams did go to overtime. 1 of them double overtime.
Phillips missing it. Smith kicked down. Terlecki with it. Play still going on. The ball way behind Charlie Green.
Earhart that time almost set up another goal because he really kept that ball alive when Phillips was trying to take control. Now it's going to be 5-4 in fouls, and the Spirit may have a little bit of a problem as well.
Yeah, I hate to see either team lose out here. I'd like to see him finish it off at equal strength as we take another look. What you're really going to see is Earhart running from behind, and Nanchoff looked like he slowed down there as he took that bump. We've got a timeout being called.
Road games. You won yesterday.
That's right.
You got a chance to steal one here.
Do it.
Sneak out. Why not go for it?
Absolutely. It's a gamble, but I think it's really his only choice. We'll see as Carpin wearing the blue goalkeeper's jersey. 3:32 to go. Regulation time.
So this is the first time that Mark, who is, you said, has had the knee problems, has had a chance to fill this role.
Carpin holding it. Brings it slowly upfield. Left side, Moreland. Carpin. Knocked away. Pittsburgh trying to win it. They do. Helmut Dudek. Along those boards, upfield for Cap, just a little off the mark. He didn't get a good roll as the ball spun outward and away from him. Back comes Victor Moreland. Now to Mark Carpin. A little surprised at Carpin being used here because of his mobility. He's not quite up to full strength. Uremovich tried to play it through. Dudek blocks it. It goes out of play, but Dallas will have a free kick.
So hang on time once again, as Pittsburgh and Dallas and the Spirit have been involved in a lot of close games this year. 17 one-goal games, and their record is 4-13.
Trying to imitate the Pittsburgh-Cleveland rivalry. All those close games. Side to side it goes. Victor Moreland, sidekick captain, and a good leader for this team. To Mark Carpin. Right foots it through. Missing was Uremovich. He was open. If that ball had been delivered a little bit crisper, you might have seen something. Like the tying goal from Dallas. Kick in coming up for the Dallas Sidekicks. 2 minutes, 45 seconds to go. Fourth quarter, Spirit leading at 3-2. We look at the Spirit bench, looking on anxiously. Don Popovic wants a change. Terlecki and Green replaced by Godfrey Ingram. And Paul Child is also out there for the Pittsburgh Spirit. Don Popovic wants some fresh troops out there. Mark Carpet right foots it through, blocked by Dudek. Uremovich controlling it. Dallas with the 6th attacker. 2:38 to go, regulation time. Spirit 3, Sidekicks 2. Off the near boards. McKenzie tags his player. That's 5 fouls apiece.
Well, next foul on either side, and we have a penalty.
Moreland quickly. Carpet left-footed shot through a screen was blocked out of play by Erhard Kapp. Something tells me this is going to be a long 2 minutes and 29 seconds.
It's like a shooting gallery out there.
A lot of pressure on both teams, but much more for the Pittsburgh Spirit. Dallas had a successful road trip, even if they lose this one, as we look at David Bursich manning the fourth. Holding on now. Moreland. Broken up Ingram. Long way to go, but it's blocked by Mark Carpet.
Godfrey tried to get that quick kick, get it down past.
We'll look at Carpet. Stolen. Ingram could walk it in if there was no whistle. Well, what was he doing? He didn't want to miss that one, I guess. I looked around to make sure there was no whistle. I think some of the crowd was confused as well, because Godfrey, what he really did was he just put on a show. He always says part of his job is to entertain, and he entertained right there.
Well, the quick feed, he comes up with the interception, and at this point, Carpet knows it's all over.
I guess that's like a football spike, although a very subtle one. Godfrey.
Yeah, that's adding insult to injury. There's no question about that.
Should be an unassisted goal as he stole it. Time of the goal, 12 minutes, 51 seconds of the fourth quarter. So Dallas had their gamble, and they had some chances as they moved that ball around, but Pittsburgh gets a very big goal, and if they can hang on, will have tied the Dallas Sidekicks for fourth place in the MISL East.
Well, there's still plenty of time. There's only a 2-goal difference. It's not your favorite lead, is it, Chase?
No. It's one of the worst leads, I think, in the MISL for anybody. Kevin Smith, left side. Stride, trying to knock it through. Cap with a block. McKenzie and Stride battle. They both know that's 5 fouls apiece, and Bursich will pick it up. Rolls it left side. Helmut Dudek. Carpet is still on there. Dudek over midfield. Low ball. Child turns, scores. Paul Child. Now you should be able to write it off. Paul Child will get credit for the goal. It is 5-2. Pittsburgh.
A beautiful effort that time as Child picks up his 25th of the season. He got a great feed from Helmut Dudek. Watch him carry it in, and Child will just change the direction of the ball. No chance for Mark Carpet.
Time of the goal will be 13 minutes, 23 seconds. And the Pittsburgh Spirit. Unlike last year, if you remember this, John, whenever there was a 6th attacker out there, Pittsburgh panicked. They would never be able to clear that ball very well, and it cost them. We've got a whistle if they call a handball, and that would be the 6th foul, and that's what they've done. Handball called, so now still not over maybe, but Dallas would need a couple of quick ones right here. If they're up by 3, Pittsburgh, that lead should be safe even on a power play. With 1:34 to go, Pittsburgh gets called for the 6th foul, but remember last year they just seemed to panic. They would win the ball, try to chip it long, it would go wide, and the other team would come up and score. They play a lot better defending against the 6th attacker this year.
And let's talk, did a good job on both of those goals that he set up, one to Kapkin and the most recent one. And defensively, you have to talk about people like Val Tuksha, also Helmut Dudek. Tuksha has played very well in bringing the ball out of the defensive zone this afternoon.
He's taken his lumps, hasn't he?
Yes, he's paid the price.
Godfrey Ingram. Right back towards Bursich. David will come up with it.
Of course, you know, Dallas is the kind of team that can commit their 6th foul in a hurry, trying to put some pressure on and easily lose that advantage.
Victor Moreland back, but Billy Phillips is back in goal. 5-2. The lead belongs to Pittsburgh, and a tie, it looks like, for 4th place also belongs to the Pittsburgh Spirit.
4th place is the playoff spot. That's what it's all about.
Spirit really got into that in the end when Dallas really started to take control. Louis Nanshaw holding it. Plays it back out. Victor Moreland. Knocking it right side. Louis Nanshaw the shot. Stopped by Bursich. Loose ball cleared out. Stride looking, and Dudek blasted. Look at how far that one went.
And how far out Phillips was. He was not expecting that.
That goal would have been from about 150 feet.
Red line violation.
I think it's going to be a red line violation, so it wouldn't have been a goal after all. Helmet just said, here we go, boys.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it wouldn't have been if it went over 3 lines in the air. That's right. Moreland. Holding it. Stride to Victor Moreland. Right side, Natchoff drills it upstairs. Goal kick coming up here for the Pittsburgh Spirit. And we only have 27 seconds remaining in this game. Pittsburgh 5-2 over the Dallas Sidekicks.
Well, let's do your offensive and defensive players of the game then.
Okay. I think it's safe to say we're going to give it to Zeke Kapka because I think he was a real big influence in this game. He got the couple of big goals for the Pittsburgh Spirit, the one that got them started right away, the big goal at the start of the second quarter that gave them their 2-goal lead. So Zeke Kapka with 2 goals, he continues to lead Spirit midfielders in scoring with 8 goals and 12 assists for 20 points. Better, as we mentioned, than he had a season ago. Defensively, let's give it to Helmut Dudek with some honorable mentions to people like Tuksha.
Good choices.
You're just saying that because I'm beside you. 7 seconds left. Victor Moreland is blocked, but he'll stay with it. The Spirit, though, will be tied for 4th place with a big game here.